I use ChatGPT to create my images. I try to keep it funny. Already showing the frustration of the lecturer before the class starts. The topic, like I said, can seem too technical for business and finance students. So I try to, we can avoid the topic, but how we approach it, that's where we might be able to make some change. Okay? This is deep learning. I'm just showing you an example. I'm not telling you to look at that and be scared. I look at my session agenda, what are we covering today, then my learning objectives. So I'm still following all the typical educational principles, right? What's our learning objective? What is our agenda? I'm following all of that, but then I'm using Kahoot to make it playful and engaging. I'm not abandoning theory for play. That's the point I'm making. I'm not abandoning good practice just to be fun, all right? I'm balancing the two. Then I left this here because I usually design in PowerPoint. While I'm designing in PowerPoint, I'm thinking about the play. I'm thinking about switching to video. I'm thinking about what kind of games to use. I'm thinking about the kind of activity to use. And in PowerPoint, I can't do that. So I leave what you call placeholders, which is just a blank sheet telling me, oh, when you get to Kahoot, do this here, right? So you see this blank page, it just reminds me when I'm designing that you do a YouTube video about what is deep learning. So I just put it there to say that even when I'm working in Canva, I know I'm going to do some stuff in move it all to Kahoot finally. I just remind myself where to place activities, where to plug in videos, that's why I put that there. Good thing about Kahoot, when you put in a video, you can cut it from one point to one point. You don't have to play the whole thing. So for a 2-hour video, 30 seconds. It just plays from that point to that point and stops,
Cañada Real in the suburbs of Madrid is one of the biggest slums in the European Union. Here some 8,000 people live in extreme poverty, and through the coldest of winters in recent years, about half of them have been living without electricity, in temperatures as low as -10 degrees centigrade for months.
Okay, so I just tried to look for a video about NEETs, children that are out, that are not in school, kind of around our topic. But the whole point I was trying to show is you can just snip what you want to where you want, and it should just play. And I don't have to scroll to find stuff. It's smooth for that reason. Because I just click play and it does exactly what I already programmed it to do. It stops and move on. Okay. So I use diagrams a lot. I create my own diagrams. That's why I say it's just one tool. You use other things. I use Canva to create diagrams to make, create an image of what I'm trying to teach, since it's so technical. Now we're dealing with kids, not in school. Keep in mind, they might not easily, some of them might not easily connect to a typical class structure. So you have to change your expectation, use images, use play, use other things to keep it interesting. I feel like crying. And like I said, I use diagrams. I'm just showing some of the things I do. I use diagrams, keeping in mind I'm teaching business and finance students. Then I create graphs too. And I make my graphs funny and fun. I'll give you an example of this one. Since I'm teaching business, yeah, you get it, right? Since I'm teaching business students, there is this data. We're talking about data, how data relates. So there's this data that says, when the sale of ice cream goes up, the amount of shark attacks go up too. So I asked them, you are the manager of a beach, and they tell you that, look, every time we sell more ice creams, more people get attacked by sharks. So the question is, does ice cream sales cause shark attacks? Who can tell me why this would actually happen in reality? Think about it logically.
You become sweeter.
No, it's because once it's summer, people buy more ice cream. Once in summer, people go more into the water.
Yeah.
So it's just, it doesn't really connect, What's that phrase? Correlation isn't?
Yes.
I can't remember. Yeah, you get what I mean? Yeah, so that, even when you're doing data, you're being playful, you keep the class attentive, you keep them, and after what happened was, beginning of my first class, some people were completely closed off. By the middle of my class, it was crazy. Because after a while, that connection builds from class to class. 15 classes in one semester. So by the time we get to the 5th class, everybody is talking, everybody is open, And you just expect that anyway. So the same thing, I use data, graphs and all that. Here, I used storytelling. I'm trying to talk about neural networks and the different layers of neural networks, and it's so theoretic, it can't connect easily with your typical finance bro in school. So what do? I use relationships like she did. A guy works in a restaurant, meets a girl, likes her, wants to take her out for dinner. He earns 100 euros a month or a week. He's not that poor. He earns 100 euros a week, and he's trying to figure out, okay, from this, what can I afford to take her out for dinner? So he has to ask certain questions. She's Indian, maybe she likes Indian food. Where does she live? Can we go far? So he gathers his initial data about this date plan, right? That initial data is the input layer for the neural network. It's just the initial gathering of information. So 3 questions we ask. Do you have a budget? Yes, 100 euros. What cuisine does she prefer? Indian food, maybe. Are you willing to travel far? Not really. Or maybe 5 kilometers, something like that. After that initial question, we talk about the hidden layers, and I talked about how decision by decision, layer by layer, he's trying to narrow down his best option to take her on a date. And I'm asking them what their opinion is consistently. And because it's relationships and dating, people are, and I pick people in my class, so I don't just pick a name, I'll pick him wants to take her out on a date. Everybody now gets on 2 of them. But then you keep it lively, And in the end, we were able to narrow down what the best choice will be, looking at the data and kind of figuring it out layer by layer. This helped, and they really got the idea because of storytelling. And we're talking about extreme technical stuff, I use popular culture. You looked at Netflix and how Netflix, the movies you watch every day, how if you watch one thing, you watch Game of Thrones, and you watch Stranger Things, Netflix will suggest The Witcher, using it to look at how the data, how AI would pick, from certain data predict another one. Remember I told you I give you a prompt before we jump to an activity. So you have a prompt. Are you guys ready? The question is Kahoot enough? Is the tool enough? Forget Kahoot. Whether it's Canva, whether it's Kahoot, whatever the tool is just the tool enough? What else is needed to achieve success in participant engagement? Just name 2 things. Any 2 things you think would help you achieve success beyond the tool. All right? Are you guys ready? It's 1 minute question, so think through it. And when I go, put in your answer. Are you guys ready? I'm going now. What else? Just 2 things. Name 2 things you think can help you get better engagement with your participant beyond the tool. So for me, this is what I did. I think the creativity you put into it, the strategy, you plan ahead, like we said, user-centric. If your student is first, if they're the most important thing, then the way you're designing the course, the way you facilitate the course, is going to put them first. Which will now, that's the strategy, right? That's strategy. With the creativity, how do I put them, how do I keep it engaging, how do I do all of that? And then the tool. Okay, that's what gives us good results. Okay, so I'm about to prompt again, I'm about to do a quiz, a 10-question quiz for yesterday's lecture. Okay? Are you guys ready? Please sign in, everyone. 10 questions for yesterday's lecture. What do we remember? I'm so glad I'm standing on this side of the table. What do you guys remember from yesterday's lecture? And that's it. After that, I'm done. You know, I hope I stuck to my time. I think I do my time, but okay. Are you guys ready? Should I start? Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to keep doing prompts per question. It's just going to go from one to the next 10 questions. And I want to use to show you the different types of questions you can do without. Right? Okay. What's the core focus of mentoring according to SIM? Answer on your phone. Just click one. Typically, average 45 seconds per question, so be quick. Oh yeah, so this is me just mentioning to you. I just put a comment in between, just to remind you. It's about thinking about the participant, being aware of the participant at all times. And it's ironic because I just did a terrible thing, and then so I'm reminding myself. All right, are you guys ready for the next one? Okay, it's a puzzle. Shift the correct, set up the correct order. DP means double points. After the building relationship phase, put the other phases of mentoring relationship in the correct order. So you can shift it on your app, just move it up and down, get the correct order. Okay, so the correct thing, after building relationship, the correct thing is setting direction. This is where you do your goal setting, the participant does the goal setting and all of that. Progression, which is the biggest phase, the wind down, and then you move on. I'm talking as if I know this thing because I have to look at the material again too. I cheated, and 14 people got it right. So.
You did it at night or in the morning? Early morning.
Divan was.
I
would have done it in the night, but you know. I'd have done it in the night, but you know, there was wine involved. Okay, so great, Dan. We're going to the next one. And if you look at the results, right? In this kind of scenario, I don't like pass-fail. If my student gets maybe 3 things right, I want to give them some scores. So if you go to the results, you'll be able to see those slight other variances from perfect, pass, or fail, right? Okay. So, Maggie, you're sticking it.
Very good.
I'm so happy Divan is not inside. Okay. Multi-select. Select as many as you answer correct. What are the key elements of a good feedback approach? Select all that apply. I think most people got them right, actually. So, personal, time-bound, factual, and action-based. All right. Not quick, not focused on personality. Mario. How did you, because you were so fast, somehow you memorized that part of the lecture, didn't you?
Yes, it's all taking notes, you know.
Bravo, Mario. Bravo, Mario.
Okay. All right, so the next one is a slider. Select the correct number, right? How many skills are listed in the mentor's CV from the Sims training? Just pick a number. Wow, okay. You will pay a lot more attention than me.
Wow! I'm impressed.
Wow, okay.
Sorry.
My pain is real.
I'm gonna lock you out tonight.
Okay, the next one. Which of this is not a storytelling benefit in mentoring? Just click the pin on the correct one. Drop a pin on the correct one. Click the correct one on the map. Just tap it, the correct one. Ah! Wow, a lot of people went in the right place. And I feel the ones that did, maybe I'm the one that was saying, look at it. I'm the one that was confusing people by using the word correct one. Sorry. Alright, so 18 people. Wow, okay. Okay, so you see, you hit the ball out of the park yesterday. Can we put our hands together for her? Down.
Very good, Divan.
Divan is making a solid point today. Okay. Okay, quiz number 7. Just 3 more, and these are quick questions. Which of these is not? Should be a not actually. It's not part of the 31 skills in the mentoring system. Alright, so that was interesting. Okay. Similar focus. Next question. Next question. Which of the following is part of the mentor CV skill set? So the first one was which is not, this one is which is. Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna start crying.
Maggie, do something. Okay, what are key reasons people avoid giving feedback? Click all that apply. So more than one if you want, or one whatever. Yeah, and the painful thing, once you click one, you can't go back.
That's cool.
And you can write like all above is possible as well.
Yeah, all above is the answer actually. But I know that those who clicked the first one were probably trying to click.
That's right.
So you passed the van, we just don't know. Dude!
Sorry.
Oh, Clara, you're next. You see, Clara is coming.
And now is the last question, like it's too late now. Same thing, multi-choice. I hope I did this one right. Which of these are important traits of a good mentor? All that, select all that apply. Please be right. Wow, okay. Okay. So this tells me something, right? 17 people said setting solid goals for the mentee. I intentionally put that phrase, solid goals, because I need to tempt you. It's the mentee that sets the goals, not you. Right? Whether they are solid or not, or watering. But anyway, great job, guys. That's the last one. and then just one poll. So I just wanted to show you this. Not every question needs to add to the final score. You can select some questions that have no impact in the competition. You know, was this helpful, yes or no? Maybe. You know, but it adds no score, right? And you can put it in between other things, just anyhow you want. You have that flexibility. Yay! Alright, so I was going to do, I don't have time for this now. I was going to maybe show you how to create 1 or 2 questions, but I can do a small video and put it in the group.
Perfect, thank you.
Right.
Amazing, thank you.
Yeah, so that's it. Thank you.